Oza, what are you doing? You're breaking into a private room.
I have to see what's in there.
As they unlock and are about to open it, we hear Hama behind them. And she tells them that she's going to show them what's inside the chest. And after a few tense seconds, worthy of any great horror movie,
Yes.
she shows them.
An old comb?
It's my greatest treasure. It's the last thing I own from growing up in the Southern Water Tribe.
And so, as it turns out, Hama overheard them talking at the camp. And so she was excited to cook a huge feast and tell Katara and Sokka that she is a fellow Water Tribe member.
Yeah.
Katara is thrilled. I mean, this was huge news. I think that's the other
huge.
thing, is that, like, this is a massive moment in the universe of Avatar.
Yeah.
And
True.
it's, you know, again, the lens
But
sort of
it's
goes
Hama.
both ways.
But it's
It
Hama.
does. Oh, for God's Yes, it is Hama.
It's like
Yes.
Hama's like, I'm your grandma. Like, I don't care. I don't like you.
So Katara's thrilled, unlike Dante.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone feels guilty for sneaking around. And later that evening, Hama has another surprise waiting for them, that she is a waterbender, which is
Huge.
also cool news.
That's very cool.
Huge news.
That's cool. That's cool.
I remember reading this and being like kind of surprised that the writers were telling this sort of big reveal in the framework of a horror movie, essentially.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool.
It's complex,
Unexpected.
A
absolutely.
lot of backstory. There's so much backstory on
Yeah.
this Hama character here.
So she's the last one since Firebenders wiped them all out. And we see what happened to Hama as she tells her tale over 60 years ago when the raids began. And we see the Southern Water Tribe, and over the Fire Nation attacked the Southern Water Tribe and kidnapped the Waterbenders. And pretty soon, Hama was all that was left, and she was taken to the Fire Nation. And that's heavy.
Oh,
That's
it's
heavy
so
stuff.
heavy.
That's
It's so heavy, especially since I'm glad you said that, because like it's especially haunting since it really was only a couple of episodes that we see in the past Ozai describing to Roku his desire to spread the good life of the Fire Nation. Like, we're enjoying so much. Why don't we just spread the love around to the whole world? We know, yes, Dante, I know there are some good people in the Fire Nation.
Defend all the Fire Nation
thank you.
people.
Do not
There's
do it.
Moments of
Do not do it right now.
things
It's
happen.
so, yeah. So it's definitely even more, to me, that's more, it's like more offensive because we just saw, you know, it's so fresh in our minds that Ozai's like, no, listen, we got so much to give. Let's like, I want to give everyone this quality of life. Right. Give me a break. Okay.
Some
we don't
people
get the
drunk
full
on
story.
power. Some people get drunk on power. I
Yes,
don't know.
they do. And
I
it
don't
could
know what's
happen.
happening.
And it could happen in any tribe. It did happen in the Fire Nation, but whatever.
Great granddad is wilding out. Great granddad's doing too much. Let's be honest. Let's be honest.
Wilding out. So we can't even hear the whole story because Hama becomes too upset, will not talk about it anymore. But Hama does want to teach Katara about her Southern Water Tribe heritage. Katara, of course, is incredibly honored. Here she's having this amazing connection with this fellow Water Tribe waterbender. And so she's honored. And the two ladies are talking about the limits of the parts of the world with less water in them as they're out on this walk together. Like when they were in the desert, Katara mentions, like, that's incredibly challenging when there's just nothing to use. But Hama tells Katara she needs to be able to use whatever water is there to the greatest effect. And, you know, Hama's very proud of Katara when she says, like, well, actually, yes, I recently figured out how to use my own sweat as a resource. But Hama's like, it goes a little deeper than that. For example, hey, there's moisture in the air around you, right? And the scene ends with Hama encouraging Katara to keep an open mind because there's water in places you never even think about. Foreshadow report. That can't mean anything good. It can't mean
At this
anything.
point, we're like fully aware that creepy stuff is happening, right?
For sure.
I'm out.
For sure.
I'm gone. I'm no longer messing with Hama. Hama is gone. Hama, I'm gone.
Dante, I hope you finished this. I hope this wasn't a too scary, didn't watch kind of a situation.
I did not
where
like
you're
it.
just
I mean, I
still-
liked
yeah.
it, but I just hate horror movies, and this was very horror.
Yeah.
I will say that I do remember specifically Lauren Montgomery. She boarded this sequence where she draws the water out of the plants and then slices the rock into like 4 pieces.
Yes.
And I remember going like, oh, this is this is bad. Like
Yeah.
the water
This
can
is
be
bad.
the water can be almost more evil than fire. Like it can
This
it can
is-
do more damage.
Very bad.
That was incredible.
Meanwhile, Toph, Sokka, and Aang search for the possible spirit causing the disappearances, but they're not coming up with much. It's a beautiful place, but no obvious signs of environmental distress. So Toph wonders if the moon spirit just turned mean, which Sokka gets a little defensive about. It was just hilarious.
Yeah.
I feel you.
Good for
feel
you, Sokka.
He's sticking up for his lady.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just then, a passing traveler happens along, and Aang tries to find out more about this mysterious spirit. He says there's only one person who lived to tell the tale of meeting the spirit, Old Man Ding. Then we head back to Katara and Hama, and they're walking through a gorgeous field of fire lilies, the same field as we saw in that creepy opening shot. As we talk about how water exists in plants, and Katara shouts out the swamp monster, Hama proceeds to suck out the water of the lilies to slice apart the boulders. Katara's loving it, except for the part where all those lilies die.
Yeah.
Except for that part,
Yeah.
But Hama brushes it off as necessary collateral damage to survive as a waterbender in the Fire Nation. Which
It
I
makes
get-
sense.
it makes sense,
guys.
you know?
That's how
I
they
mean-
get you. It's a
Yeah.
little,
I
it's
know.
like indoctrination. She really does that sort of cultish indoctrination thing where it's like, you can use your sweat, you can use your this. What else were we supposed to do? Like, it makes sense. And that's how you're sort of
No
going down
options.
the road with her.
And I ain't going down no road with Hama. I don't care anything. I'm not going down
Tell
no
him,
road with
Dante.
her.
Tell
I
him.
don't know what you're doing, Katara. I'm not going down that road with Hama for nothing.
No.
Yet, since it's a full moon, Hama promises to show Katara the ultimate technique of water bending. Will it be dangerous since people have been disappearing during full moons? Quite the opposite. Quite the opposite. Did that sound like foreboding?
Little bit.
Should I say it
Little
twice?
bit.
I mean,
No,
Yes.
that's what you do. Yeah. You say it twice. That's how you know something's up. You know
is
it's not,
not-
good if you say it twice. That was very
we
good.
know at this point we're getting that it's definitely not good.
Looking for a way to safeguard your heirlooms but love a little mystery? Then you need a Hama brand keepsake box. Available in several styles and sizes, Hama brand keepsake boxes preserve your mementos and leave prying eyes guessing. Like this one. It looks like an ordinary creepy marionette, but hidden inside its dead wooden eye is a small ball, and inside that small ball is a tiny box that can fit up to 1 gem. Or this one. It looks like an ordinary basket, but one of the reeds of the basket is hollow and can hold up to 2 coins. Hama brand keepsake boxes. I guess they only really hold small stuff. Available to order by rotary phone only. Most restrictions apply.
Sokka, Toph, and Aang find Old Man Ding, which, by the way, was like one of our favorite characters in The Office for a while, just because we like going like, I'm Old Man Ding, and doing the voice
Oh
to each
man,
other.
dang.
I get it.
He doesn't appreciate being called old, by the way. The team decided to help him board up his place as they ask him about what happened to him. And it's not that he was scooped up by a spirit. It's more like he felt like he was possessed. And he couldn't stop himself from walking up towards the mountain, which, you know, it's sort of like, I don't know, that weird liminal space when you're not quite awake, you're not quite asleep. You're in
Yes.
that weird, I can't control my body. It's happened to me a couple
Yes.
times. It's very
Ooh.
scary.
No, thank you.
Very scary. You got blood bended, Joaquin.
I got
You
blood bended.
That's what was
bended.
happening.
That was it.
I know.
That was it. Just before he walked into the cave of the mountain, the sun came up and was able to break the spell and he was able to run away. They realized that what Toph heard that night at the camp was the real thing. There are people under the mountain and they have to help them. So elsewhere in the forest, Hama draws on the power of the moon as Katara watches. And then we cut back to Toph, Sokka, and Aang, who find the door leading into the mountain. And the tunnels lead them to a bunch of people that are shackled to the walls.
Mm.
And they tell the gang.
What are they doing there?
Dude, I don't know. We were creeped out boarding it. It's no
It
good.
was creepy going there. Like, what's happening?
You know what it reminded me of? Well, like when I was a kid, I remember vividly watching both Ridley Scott's Alien and
Totally. Aliens.
Jim Cameron's
too.
Aliens. And when the
Yeah.
people were like
Yes.
against, we were trying to
Yes.
evoke that
You
mojo.
did it.
And you did.
You did it. I can't tell you how often in any situation I lean on the comedy of, please kill me.
It's it's like the worst best line ever, right? Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Whenever you're in a strange place or a strange party, you don't know anybody, you have a moment thought, am I going to end up chained to a wall
In a
Yes.
pod,
somewhere in one of
That's
these
where this
covered in
ends up.
mucus. Yeah.
This
Those
where
poor people.
This is how it's gonna all end.
So this group of people who are creepily tethered to the wall tell the gang that it was a witch that did this to them and not a spirit.
Mm.
When they realize it's Hama, Sokka and Aang race out to stop her while Toph sets the prisoners free. And I will say, I have to say that the moment that Sokka goes, Hama, Lauren boarded this absolutely crazy like pose of him going like, Hama. And he gets, and that was another one that we gave her the business on that one.
Of
for, like,
course,
years.
Hama. As soon as they said witch, everyone in the room, Hama. It was like there was not even like you think there was nothing. There's no second guessing. It was like that's Hama. I know it. It's Hama.
So Hama's telling Katara about these horrible conditions of the prison that she was in, with no water anywhere to use to keep waterbenders from using it. But Hama sensed the full moon, giving her hope. It was the rats who first inspired her to use the water inside their bodies to control them.
Eerie.
Classic
Eerie.
testing on
Eerie.
rats.
What is this? This is
She's a scientist.
Wild.
She is a
This
scientist.
is wild. In and of itself,
Yeah.
blood-bending rats is wild.
But again, you're sympathetic. She's a prisoner.
Yeah.
She's doing what
No,
she has
I
to
am
survive.
Like,
I'm very
absolutely.
sympathetic. I am very sympathetic. And it's very spooky and it's very weird. It's strange.
So she uses the blood inside their bodies to control them, otherwise known as bloodbending. And Katara is very disturbed by this revelation and doesn't necessarily think that it's her duty to use waterbending in this way. But Hama insists.
And of course, now Katara realizes that, yes, Hama is the one who's been making people disappear. And Hama is totally remorseless. And moreover, she expects Katara to do the same. Katara refuses. And Hama shows her just how awful bloodbending can truly be, right? She turns Katara into her puppet, flinging her this way and that. It is really horrifying. It seems like Katara is completely under Hama's control. But y'all, have you met Katara? Okay. We see that grass under her hands turn black as she pulls water from it, rising up to face Hama. The two fight, and as Sokka and Aang approach, Katara is definitely the one in control here. So it feels like,
Yeah.
oh, this is good. But then Hama uses Sokka and Aang to attack Katara, who has to then fight them both off. Somehow one of the things that gets me the most in the scene, by the way, like I'm laughing now, but it makes me cry, is when Katara apologizes to Aang as this is all happening, and he just goes, "It's okay."
It's okay.
Like,
It's the best.
It kills me. I was like, it was the thing where I was so engrossed that I didn't realize why my cheeks were wet when that happened. But all of a sudden I was like, oh, it's so sweet that, like, I don't know. It's great. I'm not saying it's a Katang moment. Dante, don't freak out.
No, I'm not saying that.
But
It's a funny
I-
moment. I'm still
It's so
scared of
sweet.
Hama and everything she's doing. She's so gangster. She ends up with making Sokka like gonna stab.
Yeah,
He's gonna
they're set
kill
against each
Aang.
other.
She's like,
Right.
I'm gonna send them together. Like, oh, your friends are gonna kill. I'm gonna just
That's
kill your
it.
friends.
Yeah,
Then. Like,
it's a
what
nightmare.
are we
It's
talking about?
a nightmare. This is almost about to happen. The sword is outstretched. It's about to like hurt Aang. Katara, this is what you got to do. This is what you got to do. It doesn't matter if you want to do it. The only thing you can do, because you can't do it to your friends, is bloodbend Hama. And she forces her to the ground. Just as the villagers are arriving, they take Hama away. But Hama kind of gets the last word because she feels she has succeeded in turning Katara into a
That
bloodbender.
ending?
It's like, I did my job.
Joaquin,
This is
that
it's
ending.
everything I wanted. We fade to white over Katara's sobs. Joaquin,
Horrible.
it
I'm
ends
sorry.
with Katara
The ending.
sobbing.
I mean, this is like
wow.
not an ending. This is an ending. This is like, and now you're cursed with.
But is
bloodbending.
it a beginning for Katara? I think that's the cool thing that we sort
Mhm.
of got to ask. She was sort of like bestowed this curse
Yeah.
that
She wasn't happy with it.
she
didn't
wasn't
like it.
happy with it. I will say that I very much like episodes, and this is my weird, cruel storytelling sensibilities, that not every episode has to have a happy ending. And I think that was one of, again,
Says the
it
man
was-
who directed Spider-Verse, Spider-Man 2.
Thank you.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you.
there's a theme here.
Bend your ear for ad-free episodes with Avatar Braving the Elements Premium.
Subscribe today on Apple Podcasts.